Olivia Rodrigo found an unlikely supporter amid copying accusations on her recently released Sour album, as the Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine expressed his views on the controversy. Don't forget to watch today's entire episode for the complete scoop on Olivia Rodrigo copying scandal and everything that ensued. Who is Olivia Rodrigo? Rodrigo has been singing as long as she can remember. Growing up in Temecula, California, she would belt out the choruses to No Doubt's Bathwater and the White Stripes' Seven Nation Army songs. She'd been introduced by her mom, Safia, a school teacher, and alternative rock fan. She started vocal lessons in kindergarten, and by the age of 8 was a talent show regular. Her ability to inhabit a song was evident, even then. "I was so dramatic," she laughs. "There's videos on YouTube of me singing, and I'm so into it. I act everything out, and I'm so performative. People always told my mom, you should put her in acting lessons." Before long, the family was making 90-mile journeys to LA for auditions. In 2016, age 12, Rodrigo was cast on the Disney Channel series Bizaardvark, starring as Paige Alvera, a teenager who posts funny songs and videos online. She had to learn guitar for the role, a skill she carried over to High School Musical. The musical, the series, where she plays a student involved in a school production of the classic 2006 Disney musical. She posted a clip to Instagram, where it caught the attention of Daniel Migro, a writer and producer who's previously worked with Louis Capaldi and Carly Rae Jepsen. "It was a combination of the way she sang it, the intensity in her voice and a lyric," he recalls. "It just hit me, and I was like, this is it." Taxing comparisons that followed her overnight success. Neither of them was prepared for the way the song took off, but that wild, overnight success also made Rodrigo reassess everything she'd written so far. "I had an EP ready, like 5 or 6 songs. Then Driver's License came out, and I was like, I'm just not super proud of this," she says. "I knew that after Driver's License, there'd be so many eyes on me that wouldn't have been there before. So I really wanted to put my best foot forward. I didn't feel like the EP was going to do that for me." Instead of scrapping everything, she doubled down, writing new songs while filming the second series of High School Musical on location in Salt Lake City and trading files with Negro at his studio in LA. The result is Sour, a stunningly accomplished debut album that A, proves Driver's License wasn't a fluke, and B, devours genres with an indecent appetite. Her current single, Good For You, channels Alanis Morissette's pop-punk vitriol. Deja Vu finds her taunting her ex-boyfriend over waves of crashing drums and distorted guitars. And Enough For You is the sort of grippingly told guitar ballad that made Taylor Swift a household name. Swift is an important touchstone. Her intricate, interlinking narratives have clearly influenced Rodrigo's writing, and like Swift, the star has a knack for excavating the little observational details that bring a song to life. On Deja Vu, she recalls singing Billy Joel with her ex, Uptown Girl was their song, and how she's driven crazy by the thought of him sharing it with someone new. Jealousy, meanwhile, tackles the inferiority she feels after being confronted by the paper white teeth and perfect bodies of celebrities on Instagram. "I wrote that song at a time when I was borderline addicted to social media, and I just felt crippled by the comparisons," she says. "I don't feel that now, but it's something I wanted to talk about. I am someone who has somewhat of a large following, so I think it's cool that I can be like, yo, I still hate myself. I still compare myself to other girls. Whenever I see people on Instagram do that, it always feels empowering to me. So I hope that I could be that for somebody else." Adam Levine extends his support. Olivia Rodrigo found an unlikely supporter amid copying accusations on her recently released Sour album, as the Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine expressed his views on the controversy.
Riviera
These are
by
tricky
Smith the
things.
Mister.
Anyone who's ever written a song knows that, like, sometimes you rip something off inadvertently, and then it's taped, and then it's released, and then it's a lawsuit.
Levine defended Rodrigo, saying it was a natural thing to happen to when it comes to songwriting. The Grammy Award-winning singer stated that writing music can be tricky and explained how artists could end up copying someone inadvertently. Taking to his Instagram stories on Friday, Levine weighed in on the recent controversy over Rodrigo ripping of Paramore and Elvis Costello's songs in her debut album Sour. In a video shared on his Instagram story, the Maroon 5 singer said, "Look, these are tricky things, and anyone who's ever written a song knows that you rip something off inadvertently, and it makes it to tape, and then it's released, and then there's a lawsuit." He further added saying, "It's a natural thing for it to happen, and sometimes it gets ugly, and sometimes it's warranted that people take legal action. sometimes it's not warranted that people take legal action. And I think there's definitely become more of a gray area that's reared its ugly head these days via Page 6. While Rodrigo's album has been performing extremely well in the Billboard charts, despite all the controversy surrounding it, Levine too seemed to hint that it's time for new artists to interpret and present music in their own ways. The singer mentioned in his video that he thinks it's cool for an artist to introduce a new generation to different musical ideas that may have taken inspiration from previous generations. After Rodrigo was accused of her hit song Good For You being copied from Paramore's hit, the 18-year-old singer added the band's Hayley Williams and Joshua Farrow to writing credits for the song or album. Giving credit where due, in millions, Olivia Rodrigo has apparently given a huge percentage of royalties amounting to millions of dollars to Taylor Swift and Hayley Williams, among others, after retroactively giving them credits on some of her most popular songs. Rodrigo's breakout year, which saw her rise to mainstream stardom in January with her debut single, Driver's License, hasn't shown any signs of slowing down, with the 18-year-old earning multiple #1 singles off her first album sound. However, fans claim to notice similarities between Rodrigo's smash hit, Good For You, and Paramore's 2007 single Misery Business, theories that were only supported by a mashup of the songs, which has since been viewed more than 3 million times on YouTube. Last week, it was then announced that Paramore's Hayley Williams and Joshua Farrow had been retroactively given songwriting credits because of the similarities, something that Williams reacted to in an Instagram story. Various reports at the time claimed that although they weren't originally credited, Rodrigo's team had been in touch with Williams and Farrow about the song. But this wasn't the first time that Rodrigo had offered writing credits to other artists for their apparent influence on her work back in July. It was reported that she'd added Taylor Swift, Jack Antonoff, and St. Vincent. This addition was apparently down to the interpolation of Swift's song Cruel Summer from her 2019 album Lover. The interpolation of a song basically means that parts of that record's composition have been re-recorded and turned into something new. This differs from a sample, which is just lifting a snippet from an original song. A clearer example of interpolation on Rodrigo's album can be seen on the track One Step Forward, Three Steps Back, which recreates the piano melody from Swift's 2017 song New Year's Day and credits both Swift and Antonoff. I came up with the One Step Forward concept, and I sort of wrote a verse and a chorus, Olivia explained in an interview with Zach Sang. I was in the car on a road trip, and when I got home, I decided to sing it over the chords of New Year's Day. I think they're really beautiful chords. I was lucky enough to get that approved, and it's on the record. Giving up hefty royalties. Now, a new report by Billboard claims that as a result of offering songwriting credits on some of her most popular songs, Rodrigo has given up a huge sum of money in royalties. According to the report, published on Wednesday, Paramore's Hayley Williams and Joshua Farrow will now receive a combined royalty share of 50% for Good For You, a song that shot to #1 on the Hot 100, before sitting at #2 for a record-tying 11 weeks. Rodrigo and her collaborator Daniel Negro would therefore split the remaining 50%. For Deja Vu, Billboard estimated that Swift, Antonoff, and Clark would receive a combined share of 50%, with Rodrigo and Negro again splitting the rest. Swift and Antonoff would also receive around a third of the royalties each for One Step Forward, Three Steps Back, with Rodrigo claiming the final third for writing the song by herself. This amounts to a pretty hefty sum of money. Billboard claims that Williams and Farrow could be receiving around $1.2 million following the success of Good For You, while Swift and her writing team could also be cashing in. For Deja Vu, the report predicts that Swift has earned $325,678 in publishing royalties, with Antonoff potentially taking $260,542, while Clark earns $65,135. For One Step Forward, Three Steps Back, Billboard further estimates that Swift, Antonoff, and Rodrigo will have cashed in around $86,000. That is it for today's video. Don't forget to join in next time for more of such interesting content.